Welcome back. In the last video, we talked about how our emotions are just like a spotlight. When we are angry, when we are sad, when we are excited, it's kind of like different spotlight focusing on different circles. And we also talked about how our emotions is kind of like a package, that it triggers a set of neural responses that are responding or associated with a variety of muscles, reactions, thought reactions, or even behaviors. So in this video, we are going to look into some of these patterns, where they came from and how they've been affecting us. So think about a time when you were learning how to ride a bike, for example. So you learn by practicing, and you learn by trial and error, and keep repeating the movements again and again and again. And by repeating it, your body remembers it. So even after a while, you haven't been riding a bike, but as soon as you see a bike in front of you, your body all of a sudden just remembers how to hop on, how to hold the bike, and how to move your legs to get the bike going. So all of these was not remembered by your cognition, or not so much about the thinking part of our brain. It's more like it's just natural in our body. Okay, so we call this body memory. And very similar to body memory, our emotions are functioning, or our emotions are sometimes learned in that way. So I don't know if you have known anybody or yourself have been bitten by a dog before. So in that kind of situation, it only would take once, just once, one type of negative and dramatic and big negative event would be sufficient for us to do the sort of like automatic learning, just like how repetitive bike learning would do. So if you or somebody you know ever been bitten by a dog, even just once, then your body remembers. And you know how our body and our mind are linked. So when you see a dog coming along, your body is already responding. Your muscles are tightened up, and your belly is tightened up, and you stop breathing, and your mind goes to the fearful place. And this is not something that we can quote unquote control by our thinking mind. So if I use myself as an example, so you may think that I'm a psychologist, I can tell myself to think what I want to think. Well, the truth is no. So I'm allergic to cats. So even though my head, my thinking mind tells me that cats are so cute, cats are so nice, I want to pet them, but just the thought about petting the fur, see my face, my body is already, and the anxiety is already there, already here. I'm experiencing it right now. Yeah, so a lot of emotions, a lot of our emotional responses are almost automatic, almost conditioned, just like how our body learns. So how is this related to hoarding? Now, I would like you to think about a time when you saw sale, or when you saw last chance item. So when I just say those terms, maybe some of you are already noticing some kind of bodily response, like getting excited and some sort of adrenaline rush, or even some drive or some high or excitement. So those are very similar to learning how to ride a bike. It's through repetition. So the repetition of going to the mall and getting a bargain, getting a good deal and a high. So our body remembers that. And if now I'm talking about this, you're feeling a little bit regretful or even ashamed, can we have a little bit more curiosity and openness? If I may invite you to have some openness, to stay with me and look into what's underneath that behavior that you are not proud of. So think about the times before you would go into a shop or go online to get a good bargain. Is there usually some kind of uncomfortable feelings? For example, some days after work, you don't want to go home. You'd rather go to a store. And what about going home? What kind of bodily learning or muscle memories have you also been developed about staying at home, being at home? Could it be whenever you're at home, you feel lonely, you feel depressed or even hopeless? Can we bring a compassionate look at that situation for you? Being at home, how is it also another learned emotion? Being at home means being depressed. And if I can ask you to continue to stay with me and let's look deeper, even deeper into that. How is this staying home means depressed? Staying home means hopeless. How is this associated with a bigger part of your personal life, or even a longer ago kind of history of you as a person? How did you grow up? What kind of situations have you experienced that led you or contributed to you feeling inadequate, unlovable, unworthy? How are those emotions or feelings that you associate with yourself was also partially learned, just like a muscle memory? Can we take a look at this? Because hoarding is not about the items. It's not about the physical items. The physical item is just an expression of what's going on inside. Can we take an honest and compassionate look at our emotional baggages? Things that we learned intentionally or unintentionally. Maybe these patterns used to serve a protective function for us earlier in our lives. But maybe some of these patterns no longer do us good. Can we look at them? Can we choose to intentionally practice, to recognize them as they come about, and bid them farewell? Say to them, thank you. Yeah, when I was younger, I really needed this to protect me. I really needed these patterns to protect me. But now I choose to let it go so I can have a fuller life.